Okay, well, I want to be mindful of the time, and it is just a few minutes after our start time of 6:30. So let's get started with a brief introduction from me. My name is Patricia Smolin. I am the business librarian at the Schaumburg Township District Library, and we are very, very pleased to welcome back Bruce Bixler, who is, in my opinion, a guru in LinkedIn and all of its features and abilities. He has been delivering presentations on this topic as well as others, but primarily LinkedIn to our library and our neighboring public libraries for a number of years. And his content is always well developed, thought out, and fresh. In fact, Bruce, if you didn't catch that comment he made as you were entering the doors of this virtual program, Bruce said something to the effect of, "This may be out of date." In the near future, only because he's very conscious that LinkedIn features are constantly evolving and he is on top of that. So I have added my email address to the chat, and we are going to pause. The speaker is going to pause periodically through tonight's program to address questions, which you can enter either in chat or Q&A, and I will moderate those questions. For those of you that took a look at the email I sent out this afternoon, this program is being recorded. It will be uploaded to the library's YouTube channel either tomorrow or Monday, and we will preserve it for just an undefined period of time for others to benefit from it too. Bruce has a lot, and when I say a lot of content, it is a wealth of very detailed features in LinkedIn to help you get the benefits of your LinkedIn profile and what your intentions of using it will be. I do want to make mention that the library is open and has been for quite some time. Your reference desk librarians are here and available to answer questions, help you do some research, guide you through our sources and services. Our hours of operation are now Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 9 to 5, and Sunday, 12 to 5. So if you have any questions, you can give us a call, send us a chat, drop us a line, come and visit us. We are here to help with all of your specialty needs in nonfiction and reference areas. So with that being said, I'm going to turn the floor over to Bruce. And again, if you have any questions, just submit them in Q&A and chat. We will address them as he moves through his slides. Bruce, thank you again on behalf of the library for making time for us.
Thank you, Patty. It's nice to be here. I wish it was live and in person, but that's for future presentations. The presentation I'm going to give tonight is going to be about LinkedIn's new features. In the last year and 4 months, there have been 65 of them. I'm not going to cover all 65 tonight. I don't have time. If I have a week, I might be able to show them to you. The other thing I'm going to show are some of the 143 new privacy settings that LinkedIn has set up for you in their benefit, of course. So I would advise you tonight after the presentation to go see what LinkedIn has you set up for. So I want to get started tonight. And I love this quote by Einstein, and this is truly what LinkedIn is all about. You have to learn the rules of LinkedIn, and then you have to play it better than anyone else if you want to show up in search. And I can't believe he said that, because being a scientist, I didn't think you'd appreciate games, but I guess he did. So one of the first things I want to cover is a complete profile on LinkedIn. I've included different sections. I've highlighted having a current job position. In order to have a complete profile, that is 20% of the completeness for your LinkedIn profile, which makes you at the all-star level. And the reason I say you have to have a complete job or all-star profile is when LinkedIn does a search, or people do searches for you on LinkedIn, the searches start with jobs or profiles that are 100% complete first. Then it sorts the ones that are maybe 95% and then 90% and so on. But without a current job position, you're at 80%. You probably won't stand much of a chance of showing up in search. So you absolutely have to have a current job position on your LinkedIn profile. Now, when back in 2020, before the pandemic started, I did a search for my name on Google. And when I got the results, it showed my LinkedIn headline as the first search result on the Google search for my name. Now, that was 2020. I want to let you know that when LinkedIn made some changes at the beginning of the year in January 2021, they made it different for Google to find certain parts of your profile. And like I said here, LinkedIn no longer plays friendly with Google and your headline. So what happens now, if you Google your name on the internet, what's going to come up is your first job or current job experience. So it's imperative that you have a current job position even when you're unemployed. And this is the result of 2021. It was my job title, and that's it. So I just want you to be aware that you've got to have a complete profile, and I'll show you how to complete it. One of the current work experience is one of the 5 most heavily weighted search terms on your LinkedIn profile. So in order to show up in search, you have to have a current position. Adding your current position makes it easier, or 5 times more easy for you to be connected to people and for visibility as well. So what LinkedIn did is they introduced new job titles: stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, parent, and a few others. They've also added a new field specifically for the unemployment gaps. They have parental leave, family leave, sabbatical. I wasn't able to locate sabbatical, but I'll show you what I found on the profile, both on the desktop and on the mobile phone. So if you see any one of these use any of the stay-at-home job descriptions, you have to be in the employment field, self-employed, but you don't have to come up with a company or employer name to complete that job title. So here is desktop version of adding a new position. So what you'll have to do is literally add a new position. You go into edit your profile, you go into the intro area, and then you can type in a job title, but the employment type on the desktop, they only give you 7 options. On the mobile phone, they give you 8. They added a seasonal position on the phone. I don't know if the desktop is caught up to the phone yet, but it's 8 on the phone, 7 on the desktop. And what that creates is, and here's the one for the stay-at-home person. You have to put in self-employed first, and then go back up to the job title. And it gives you a drop down: stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, stay-at-home parent, and homemaker. And you can click on any one of those, and it says you can share with your network. That's going to be up to you, whether you want to share it or not. You can click that on or off, and but that's your personal decision. I'll leave that up to you. And I like this job title that I found on Twitter the other day. It's Pooh, and he works at the drive-thru at McDonald's in his Clark Kent version. But in the Superman version, I like this. He was an associate at a multinational firm in the service industry with revenue of over 20 billion, and served as a liaison to the automotive industry. And there he is with a tux and tie. I thought that was great. It cracked me up when I saw it. So I've got one other thing to show you is creator mode on LinkedIn, where they will and this is a new feature. They'll reorder your profile, and it'll have your featured section, activity section first. Your activity section will be expanded to showcase more content. If you write a lot of content on LinkedIn, this will benefit you to have the creator mode. You no longer be able to have visibility directly to likes, comments, and other activities on LinkedIn. Now, this is my profile before creator. It had Chicago area, 500 connections and contact information. After, uh, under the creator mode, you'll have hashtags and about the topics that you'd like to discuss. Now, the thing with these hashtags, though, they are not active. They're just shown as the things that you discuss. It would be nice to have them be hyperlinked, but they're not right now. I think that's going to be at a future date so that you can click on those hashtags. Now, the thing is, on LinkedIn or any website, when you click on the hashtag, it takes, I know now, I just talked myself through it. When they click on a hashtag, it takes the person viewing your profile away from LinkedIn, away from your profile. You want people focused on your profile. So that's why they don't want to have active hashtags on LinkedIn. And if you're in the creator mode, you don't have a connect button, you have a follow button so that people can engage with you in your community. I just set this up last week. I'm averaging 5 or 6 new followers a day with the creator mode. So that's increasing my follower content. And I don't know if I want to go back in and search through all the people that just followed me to see if they want to connect, but I may do that when I get some downtime. Now, this is my profile after I accepted the creator mode. You notice that they have the hashtags, which are not interactive. It lists the number of followers that I have following me, which is 6,900. Now, there is one caveat to the creator mode. You must have at least 5,000 people following you. So you've got to, I know a lot of people, we always ask if you have 500 connections. Well, if you want to have the creator mode, you have to have 5,000 connections. So, and each connection you have is a follower, but then you can also have additional followers that just follow you on LinkedIn, but are not connected to you as well. And then they also have providing services on LinkedIn. And I think, Patty, I've reached a breaking point for questions, and I know I've given out a bunch of information and features. So if you have anybody questions in the chat, let me know and I'll see if I can answer them.
I do. So thank you for taking that pause, Bruce. First of all, we have a comment just so that you know, and I don't think we need to make an adjustment on it now. Unfortunately, you because Zoom has that menu bar that does not go away. It's
yes, it does.
overriding.
Hang on a second.
If it can, because it's overriding the closed captions.
How's that?
That's better, but now it's in the center of your screen. Okay, now it's gone.
Okay,
wonderful.
All right. See,
well, that
magic.
was done. I didn't want to interrupt your good momentum there.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad I'm connected to the CEO of Zoom. So I just told him to, get rid of that for me.
Oh, that's real. Tell him that's appreciated and applauded. Let's take a quick look. I know that there was a question in here. I saw it right here. The question is, what if I have not changed my LinkedIn profile in over a year? What do I do? Now, I'm going to capture that individual's email address. Should you want to respond to that person directly? Or I'll just archive it.
Yeah, that way I will be able to explain that without seeing their preview, their LinkedIn profile previously compared to what it is now. That way I'd be able to describe the differences because, like I said, there's at least 60 different features and variations and different placement of your information. So, if they want to, my information is here on the screen. They can send me a Gmail and I'll be able to gladly explain the difference
Okay.
between a year ago. There's a lot of things that you have to update in order to stay current. And if you haven't changed it, LinkedIn has made changes for you. And I don't know if you want to have all those changes made. So if they want to contact me, I'll be glad to let them know. And send me an email, their contact, so I know who's calling me and for what reason.
I will foster that connection. But to that particular patron who asked that, yes, in the chat, I have put Bruce's Gmail. Also, you have a podcast that I've sent the link for too, but so that you will address that specifically. Another question just came in. Says, I don't want to be open to recruiters. How do I ensure that I am not open? Can you please demo that?
You don't want to be open to recruiters. Well, there are some settings on LinkedIn that you'll have to go into. It'll be under visibility, and you can turn, there's a feature in there where you can make it visible so the recruiters see, or you're more readily seeable by recruiters. You may have to go into communications that you may not want to take communications or emails from certain people. Like I said, they've got 140 new settings, and I haven't memorized all of 140 yet, so I'm working on that. So there might be something either in communications and one definitely for visibility on your LinkedIn profile that would not prevent 100%, but minimize the contact from recruiters. And if you do get contacted by recruiters, you may eventually want to block them. I don't know what position you're in. I know my son is in IT and he gets harassed a lot because the recruiters are searching for IT people left and right now for security reasons. And he's being bombarded by recruiters and he doesn't want it. So I've showed him a few things on there. And like I said, with 140 new security things, I can't possibly know them all yet.
That's a key word. And we'll go with this last and third question during this break is there any way to match any people that are connected to you but no longer follow you?
They're connected to you, but they no longer, you would have to go into your profile under your connections, see how many connections you have, then go to your activity, and under activity, you'll see a listing of followers. So let's say you have 1,000 connections, but you only have 995 followers. So that means 5 people have unfollowed you. LinkedIn, because of privacy reasons, won't allow you to know who's unfollowing you, but they're still connected to you, but they just maybe don't want to see your information for whatever reason. Is that good?
I'm going to ask the patron if that fulfills his question. If not, then we may choose to unmute them
Okay.
if they need to explore that further. So, okay, so he said that means no, thanks.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna head on a little bit further. Okay, here's another new feature from LinkedIn. I just got this week. It's called Cover Story, and I have not had time to set this up. If you're in business, it gives you an opportunity to turn your LinkedIn avatar or photo into a networking tool. If you're in job search, it gives your opportunity to turn your profile into a job search, recruiting, maybe an extended information about what you do. Your elevator pitch is basically what you could put in there as well. If anybody, if anybody wants information on this, I know I'm going to do something in the next week or two to develop this, but if you want the link to the article, I can get that for you. Just in the next questions period, you have my email address. Send me an email. I'll send you the link to this article I found. And it does show the videos during the presentation on the LinkedIn website. One thing they like to call it is the Harry Potter effect. So you have your avatar, and once somebody scrolls over that, it starts up to life. So I haven't seen it in person yet. I can't wait to get mine going to see what it looks like. And that way you'll be able to advertise yourself, and also for business, and advertise yourself for job search. So stay tuned for that. And if anybody wants the information or the article, send me an email. Okay. And that's unfortunately the only information I have right now. Okay, the next features I'm going to be showing are LinkedIn name and LinkedIn pronouns. And I'm going to start with the pronouns. If you go into edit your intro, again, you have to go to your profile page, go into edit your introduction, scroll down to pronouns, and you're actually able to select different pronouns for your profile. And here are some of the pronouns that they have. It's she, her, he, him, they, them. And here's the neat one, custom. So what I did is I clicked on the custom pronouns, and another box popped up, and you could enter your custom pronouns. And you, instead of he, him, you may want to add something else, his, whatever, Superman, whatever pronoun you want to use, you can put that as a custom pronoun in the edit area, the intro area. The other thing is that they have for that, oh, here's what it looks like on mobile. It's she, her, and you can put whatever pronouns you want in there. And then once you're done, it'll show up on both your desktop and your mobile phone. The other thing is, new feature that they have on LinkedIn is name pronunciation. Now, if you're from another country, you may want to use that to be able to have people, if they're going to contact you, they want to be able to know how to pronounce your name. And I think that's a great idea, and it keeps people from mispronouncing your name, which sometimes can turn people off. Excuse me. And on the mobile phone, you can add your name. Oh, that's the only way you can add name pronunciation. Excuse me a second. Is on the mobile phone, because on the mobile phone you had a microphone. And if you go to add pronunciation, you'll be able to put that on your LinkedIn profile, and it will show as a microphone on your profile, either on the desktop or on the mobile, but the mobile is the only one where you'll actually hear it. And you have 10 to 15 seconds to leave the name pronunciation. Now, I put this on here just as a marketing feature. If you want, if you have a name like John Smith, Bill Jones, Jim White, you may want to use that as a short, very short elevator pitch for your profile to say, hey, contact me at my email address. If you want to talk to me, contact me at my email address. I've heard two different variations. Some say it's 10 seconds, others say it's 15. So once you get this feature, play with it and see how long it lasts if you're not going to use it just for your name. Now, I found this 2 days ago. No, Saturday, sorry, Saturday. Dark mode on LinkedIn. Most of the other desktop apps, Twitter and those have a dark mode. I have gotten to the point, and my whole family has gotten to the point where we have used blue light glasses because of the white backgrounds on the different platforms. And at the end of the day, sometimes we get headaches, so we put on these blue light glasses. And this is what dark mode is for on LinkedIn. So what it is basically a dark black background, and all the verbiage and the writing is in white, so it stands out. It's a little bit easier on the eyes. Um, I heard that as much as 20% of the people, even on their emails and stuff, will be already have used dark mode and they keep it that way. This is what I got from LinkedIn. It says they're currently designing it. It's not available yet to the public. I heard it'll be either September or October before they start rolling it out. Everyone will not get it all at the same time, but just be on the lookout for it. I'm not sure where it's going to be. It'll probably be in settings, but I'm not sure which settings it'll be under. Probably account settings. So be on the lookout for that. I'll probably post something once I get it so that you have an idea what it looks like. Okay, Patty, I'm at break time. If you have any other questions about the information in the interim, let me know.
Okay, I am back on. And so the person who initially had asked the question, I don't want to be open to recruiters, how do I ensure that I am not open? Can you demo that, please? Came back with some more detail and said, I'm not talking about recruiters contacting me. I want you to demo how to turn that open off.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can get to it.
Thank you.
I've got to go to, where's LinkedIn? Do you see it now?
There's probably a couple second delay. So yes, we're on your profile now.
Okay. I have to go to privacy and settings. Yeah, it'll be, well, okay. And it may even be under, I forgot about data privacy. Let's see what they show there. Okay, here is part of it. Signal your interest to recruiters and companies you created job alerts for. Trying to think if there's, and job seeking preferences. Let's see what that. Will share your interest with recruiters who may want to contact. Make sure this is off. Either that or don't set up any job alerts from a company, because if they have a job alert, even though that you have this turned off, they may still contact you. So make sure that managing alerts is off. That way they won't contact you. Now I know there's another one for profile viewing options. Some people, here's the thing, some recruiters, if they have your email address or phone number, you may want to change that so nobody can discover your email address or nobody can discover your phone number. So I know there's a lot of tools out there that will scrape LinkedIn for your personal information, your email address and your phone numbers. I know for certain because I've gotten a lot of, you can turn that off to nobody. I have gotten a lot of spammy messages through LinkedIn, and I can tell, let me see if I can get to my homepage. I'm going to go back to LinkedIn. I'll show you what I did so that I can tell if I get a message from somebody, if they're using a bot or scraping tool. And let's go to my network. I get a lot of people asking to connect, and if they're personal about it, they will use my name, uppercase Bruce, lowercase. The rest of it, I found some here down a little bit further where they use my capitalized first name, like right here. I see that we have connections in common, professional interest. The bot captures my capitalized first name. Now, if she had written this herself, it would be uppercase B, lowercase RUCE.
Ah,
So
okay.
that's not part of the presentation, but that's how I can tell whether I'm being coming from a scrape or a bot or some kind of machine, artificial
It's a helpful
intelligence.
tidbit.
Yeah.
This individual who initially asked the question also just made a comment saying there is an open right under your name. Is that it on the very first page? Now, I know you just showed us two different places for a privacy setting.
Oh,
but
okay. I have a premium account. It is open. You don't have to be a first degree connection to send me a request. I make it open so that if you're a job seeker and you don't have my email address, in order to connect with me or message me, you have to have my email address. And I made it open so that anybody can ask. I've also set it up so that on my about section, if someone wants to contact me, the very first line on my about section is my email address. If you send me a connection request, and sometimes they'll ask for, do you have the person's email address? It's right there. I don't mind that. It's one thing I do not, I can't say condone. One thing you should not do is give the people contacting you both your email address and your phone number. That bypasses LinkedIn's two-step security settings. I've had my LinkedIn profile hacked and discontinued, and they actually deleted it. So I only show my Gmail address. The people that I am connected to first degree have both my email and my phone number, but I've welcomed them into my network. So if they do it, then I'll have to find out who did it. But I only put the email address here, and the open up here, a premium account, you have a choice to make it open or where is it? I guess see if I can here. You can have an open profile. You can show the premium profile badge, and that's not a new feature, but it's just a feature when you have a premium account. So you have those options.
okay, so two more comments, and I'm so sorry, I'm going to interject for a moment, is we have just to be aware that that black bar came back up after you left your PowerPoint.
Yep, it
and
does
so
that.
Black bar, yeah, it does. And I know that we that are using Zoom, we struggle with it. It was on because you were onto your LinkedIn profile and off your PowerPoint. So,
okay, now it's off. Yeah.
And then we had another comment. I'm going back from an individual, and I honestly can't piece to where this belongs. From a page, do they mean the green ring? This was from the.
No. Green ring is you have to set that up through your LinkedIn profile under settings, and you have to be open to job search. That's a completely different thing than the other open that I was talking about, where people can send me a connection request.
Okay.
The green ring, I'll have to do that in another presentation.
Well, we're going to welcome you back. So whatever is spilling over from tonight's bucket, we'll address again. And lastly, and I'm going to ask this particular attendee who made an additional comment about the question about the open feature. I am not talking about connecting with you. There is open to the right under one's name. Is that the one to turn off?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to suggest to this attendee, please keep your questions coming, but if there is something in more depth, please get in touch with Bruce directly, or I can put the two of you together so we can have a little more of
Okay.
a
Yeah.
meeting.
Okay. Any others?
No, I think that's all we have for right now,
Okay.
but please keep those questions coming. I just want to make sure that we stay on track.
Okay.
Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah. All right. Are you using hashtags on LinkedIn? Now, I know it's not a relatively new feature, but it is a newer feature. Most people think hashtags are for Twitter, Facebook, and especially Instagram. Hashtags will allow you to do a search on LinkedIn. Hashtags will allow you to stand out on LinkedIn. If you use a hashtag, people will find you using that hashtag and they will find you. I show you a couple things on, this is from LinkedIn. I received this a few weeks ago. It allows you to establish your credibility and your expertise. Now you can use hashtags either on the phone, you can use it on the desktop as well. But I think more people are more comfortable using it on the phone. Hashtags also will allow you to reach people that value your insights. So if you post an update or an article and you put a certain hashtag in there that people follow, and I'll show you about having the right hashtag on your articles and posts, because it makes a world of difference in how many people see it. The other thing is a hashtag will start a conversation because two like-minded people are following a hashtag in a shared interest. Sorry. Now, this is best practices verbatim from LinkedIn. To use it correctly on LinkedIn, the hashtag has to be before the keyword or phrase. No spaces, no punctuation, special symbols, or emojis will work with the hashtag. And here's the part that everybody asked for. How many? They said no more than 3 per post. You can use 2, you can use 3, you can use 4, depending on, but their sweet spot, their is 3, and that'll make you stand out. It's more succinct, it's easier to find. You can strategically locate people with fewer hashtags. You can make up your own hashtag. I have my own. It's called visibility equals opportunity. I have a whole 40 people following it, but every time I post an article, I post visibility equals opportunity. And on LinkedIn, if you aren't visible, you're not going to have any opportunity. You have to be visible. And the last thing is, if you find hashtags that are inappropriate, make sure LinkedIn knows about it. Now here, I talked earlier about using the correct hashtag when you post. Now, if you're in job search, you may want to post job hunting tips. I point the arrow to, if you use that hashtag, only 277 people will follow it, will see it. If you use the hashtag job seekers, 1.4 million people have visibility to that. So make sure when you're using hashtags to use ones that are followed by a lot of people. And by a lot of people, I mean at least 10,000, maybe more. Some of these hashtags have 2 or 3 million. And I saw one the other day had 10 million people following that hashtag. So if you want to be visible to somebody, use the right hashtag on LinkedIn. Now I'm going to go to the profile for just a minute. You have to have a picture. With a picture, you're 21 more times more likely to be viewed, and you want to be visible. You got to have a profile picture. The other thing is your background image. Actually, they changed the background image. It's not the starry sky. It's three shades of gray on it. But this isn't going to help you be found. You need something to stand out. Excuse me. This is the 3 shades of gray I was talking about. This is the current default background image, and you don't want that on your LinkedIn profile if you want to be found. Excuse me a second. What your banner says about you helps make you great. Now, what I did is I didn't do it. I had my daughter use Adobe and go in there and edit it. And this is a picture from one of the libraries, and I am there speaking, and the title is Professional Training and Coaching. And I have that in my background image. And what I did to update that is, since I can't do in-person public speaking, I used a Zoom background and blurred it out. And then I put my contact, my name, my Gmail, my services, and how I help people with profiles and Sales Navigator training. So that's how you advertise on LinkedIn without messing up their terms of agreement. You want to stay within the bounds, and they're going to allow you to put your contact information in the banner page. Go ahead and do it. The other thing, as I mentioned earlier, you want to put your Gmail address at the beginning if you want recruiters, customers, clients to contact you, and only your email address. The reason on the desktop you want it on the very beginning is because LinkedIn only shows the first 3 lines on the desktop of your about section. So unless you have a captivating about section, the first 3 lines don't capture people's attention, they're going to move on. Or if they like it, they'll hit the see more button and they'll read the rest of your email address. The last 3 people I've helped with their LinkedIn profiles have had their LinkedIn email address on the about section, but they had it at the bottom. The recruiters aren't going to go to the bottom of your about section to try and find your contact information. They want to contact you. Hit them in the face with it. Make it stupid simple so they can see it. Now, the other reason, which is more important than the desktop, is on the mobile phone, there's even less verbiage in the about section that's visible before you see the see more. So make sure it's on the beginning of your about section so recruiters can contact you, hiring managers, headhunters, whatever, can contact you easily. I want you to make sure that your profile is not a resume. It's a digital reputation. It's everything that you want people to know about you. Your resume is only 2 pages. My LinkedIn profile we printed out was 24. And that includes everything I do. And it should include everything you do, not just your resume and little bullet points. People spend time on social media. So you have to invest time in LinkedIn. If you don't, you spend, what did I hear the average LinkedIn user spends 17 minutes a month on LinkedIn. Now, my daughter spends 20 minutes a day on Instagram, but people on LinkedIn only spend 17 minutes a month. That's ridiculous. You have to treat your LinkedIn as not a Rolodex, but a profile search engine. You can search, well, you can't search all 740, but there are 740 people on LinkedIn. If you know how to use it right, you can view a lot of people on LinkedIn and they can view you. The other thing is you're only visible to your network. So if you have 500 first degree connections, and they each have 500 first degree connections. That's about 2.5 million people on LinkedIn. You're only visible to those. There's 740 million profiles, but you're only connect. Oh, the other thing they include is your groups. And you should be in 95 to 100 groups on LinkedIn. If you want to increase your visibility exponentially, join groups, because the largest groups on LinkedIn, um, it's astronomical how many people are in it. Please don't send me this canned request to connect on LinkedIn. If you want to connect, I would prefer having a personalized invitation request. Say you heard me on the Schomburg Zoom call. Anything, just let me know where we met, because I get a lot of people trying to connect, a lot of people trying to spam me, use bots, and I make sure you capitalize just the B when you send me the request, so I know it's a human, not a bot. Okay, Patty, I'm ready for 2 or 3 more questions, hopefully not from bots.
No bots here, only very interested and engaged patron attendees. So let's take a look. And one good question that came up was, how do you know if a hashtag has a lot of followers?
You go to the search bar at the top of your LinkedIn profile, you put the hashtag in, and then whatever, job seekers, and click on that. It should bring up a page that'll show you how many people are following it. And you know what? Go to your homepage feed. Look at what hashtags the people are using in your feed. Click on those hashtags. It will tell you exactly how many people are following. So if there's, I remember seeing a post on LinkedIn, and they had 16 hashtags. Only 4 of them were viable. In other words, they had more than 10,000. Some of the others had 200, 300, 18 people. Don't overdo it on hashtags. Just use the ones that you know people are using. So go through your feed, spend some time on your LinkedIn homepage feed. Anytime they use a hashtag, click on it. It will tell you exactly how many people are following that hashtag. And then keep a list. Use an Excel spreadsheet of how many people are following that hashtag, and keep it up to date. And those are the hashtags that you want to use. And maybe those are the hashtags you want to follow as well. Anything else?
Okay, so we have, I believe this may have been coming from the attendee who was previously asking the questions about the open to a job search and the off feature. The attendee says, I am already connected with you, Bruce. It used to be very straightforward, and I don't know if this has changed now. I just want to turn off the feature that I am open to job search. I am not open to job search. I am employed. So can you please demo that?
All right, let me see if I can escape. Okay, settings, view profile, visibility, edit your profile. You can turn off profile public visibility to your network, all LinkedIn members. make it only visible to first degree connections. You can do that. That would probably be, I think the one that they're looking for is this visibility, profile public visibility. Okay, so now if someone search for you on LinkedIn, they won't see you. Edit visibility, your public profile is off. So that would be it. Background photo, public. You may want to just switch it to first degree connections only. That way, only the people that you're in your network, provided they aren't recruiters, directly can directly connect to you. All the others can't get a hold of you. Public can't do it. LinkedIn members can't do it. Your network that's 2, second, and third degree and group members can't. So it'd have to be first degree connections would have to be it. Other than getting online and doing it and you showing me your LinkedIn profile, that's the only thing. I'm just guessing because there's so many different settings on here. I'm not sure exactly what we're talking about. And if they're first degree connections, just send me an email.
We also have some comments from
Okay.
attendees, and we have 2 people with similar names, so I'm trying to sift through.
Okay.
One gentleman says, no, there is a way to turn off the green screen. It's under recruiters.
Yes, you can turn it on or off.
Okay.
You can let recruiters know that you can turn the green screen off, but still let recruiters know that you want to be available. And then you can do, there are 2 options under that. You can have the green screen on and still have the recruiters reach out to you. So you have your edit option as to which way you want to do the green screen, off and on, and they can still contact you either way.
I'm addressing a question directly, Bruce. Give me just a moment, and I want to see if this patron would like for me to unmute them so they can explain this further.
Okay.
Being that this is a webinar and not a meeting, everyone is automatically muted, but if this person, if it would benefit this attendee to be able to verbally express himself a little bit more clearly, I can do that.
Well, I would probably have to see the profile so I could determine which setting to go to.
Okay.
And with over 200 settings now.
Okay. No, I think we're just going to proceed.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Privacy and security settings. You have a whole bunch of them. And I think I may have one PowerPoint page out of order. Okay. In 2020, there were 4 headlines and 66 privacy settings. Now there are 6 headings and 203 total security and privacy settings on LinkedIn. And depending on how you go in, and here's one of the ones I want you to be aware of. Email addresses, you must have 2. I can't tell you how many people have contacted me. They've lost their job. The only email address they had set up for their LinkedIn profile was their business email address. So they were locked out of their LinkedIn profile. So we had to go through Twitter to get their access back to their LinkedIn profile. So And one of the guys, it took a month to get his profile back. So make sure, keep it simple, have two email addresses, make one primary, make your personal one primary. If you have a business one, make it secondary. The other thing is, uh, you can have more than one phone number connected. Change your LinkedIn password every 30 days. Every 30 days. And where you're signed in, your active sessions. I did this on purpose. I had 3 active sessions. You should only have one. Those 2 other active sessions could have been a library, McDonald's, a Burger King, Panera, whatever. If you leave that session open on LinkedIn at these places, your profile will be available for scraping by who knows. So you want to make sure you only have one active session when you're on LinkedIn. So go in. I had one guy, he had 12 open sessions and he traveled a lot. I said, you have to close them. Otherwise, people are going to gain access to him. And he was in sales and he didn't want his information available to anybody that scraped his LinkedIn profile.
Bruce, may I interrupt for a moment? That menu bar is back up. If you could
Oh,
just
sorry. Thanks.
take that down. Thank you.
Okay. People also viewed. If you're in job search, you may want to turn this off. The reason being, if the recruiter looks at your profile and over on the right-hand side, there's a listing of people also viewed. There's 10 other people. Those other people could be your direct competition for a job. Do you want the recruiter to find them, or do you want them to recruiter view your profile? If you turn this off, the only thing they're going to see is your profile. So make sure your LinkedIn profile, people also viewed, is turned off. Okay, here it is. The old LinkedIn profile had 4 sections, 66 privacy and security settings. Here they were. They had account, privacy, ads, and communications, and that's it. And they collect your data about your connections, your location, demographics. But the new ones in 2021 has 6 headers, 203 privacy and security settings. And yes, I counted each one setting one at a time. One of the things that you may want to do on your LinkedIn profile is get a copy of your data. They have 6 or 8 different sections. Do you want just your updates? Do you want just your connections? Do you want just certain information from your LinkedIn profile? It used to be 2 different, you could get your data and your connections. Now they have broken it down because the information was, if you have a lot of connections, it takes them a long time. I got a zip file from them. It was half my profile, and that took 24 hours. The other half was another zip file that was at 72 hours. So if you have large amount of connections, it's going to take them longer to get all your data. That's why they broke it down into 6 or 8 different sections so you can get just the information you want. One of the things that they do have on the new one is your personal demographic information. I would go in and take a look at that and see how they have you set up. Or you can go in and edit it so that you can have it set up the way you want. Here is one area on LinkedIn, one section, it's visibility. You want your profile visibility off of LinkedIn. This is another possibility if you don't want to have people find you in job search or for a job, you can turn this off. So that way you won't be visible on Google, you won't be visible on Bing or Yahoo or any of the other, or Dice. If you turn that off, it won't be visible. The reason LinkedIn put it in here is because they were part of Microsoft, and a lot of times Outlook will people can look through Outlook to find you. So you turn that off, you won't be visible off of LinkedIn. So that might help that one situation. Okay, now it's not easy to get all of these settings. If you go to communications, under communications, you get LinkedIn, email, and push. And then under that, there's a little arrow over here. Pay attention to those little arrows, because those little arrows will unleash, I think on this one under conversation, there were 20 different settings that you can switch on and off. And I went through and switched one off, but I don't think I've gone through and filtered all of them as to the way I want them on or off on my LinkedIn profile. And under conversations on in-mails, you have both the on and off switch, but under in-mails, you have an edit pencil. So you may want to go in and edit if you want in-mails or emails. Do you want it individual emails? Do you want it weekly or off? Or whatever LinkedIn recommends. So you have 4 options as to whether or not you want under in-mails or email frequency, and you get to edit which one you want. Now, all of these are, if you want messages, they'll all have 4 different options, but not just the on and off green button, but they'll have these options underneath the in-mails and messages. So pay attention to that. It might help you. If you get too many emails, then maybe just do a weekly digest. That might be better. Okay, I am ready for questions. Patty, whenever.
Okay, I don't think we have any questions at this time, but I am looking at a comment, and I'm thinking that we are concentrating a great deal on the multitude of features and everything that's come out of the last year, and perhaps leaning towards how they may affect job seekers. And we know not everybody is using LinkedIn solely for the purpose of job seeking. So please know that if there are other purposes for using LinkedIn, I'm saying this to our attendants and our attendees, you're most welcome to share your impressions and your suggestions with me or with Bruce. But for me, for the Schaumburg Library, if you have a use and a need and an interest in LinkedIn for when we welcome Bruce back, and you have a specific area that is not in that job search area, we will certainly want to explore that and ask Bruce to concentrate in that area. But because we haven't had him back in the last year, we're just trying to make the most out of his time, and we seem to have a lot of job seekers that will benefit from that. So please know we understand that LinkedIn isn't used only for those in career transition, but if you have any suggestions regarding a LinkedIn program and how you would like to see it geared, we can always take a look at that. So thank you again for signing up for tonight's program. We're not ending it by any means. We're only about not even 7:45 here. But I did make mention of a comment from an attendee who's not in a job seeking mode, and we will take a look at how we can have Bruce back in another capacity. Thanks.
No, that's great, because I do presentations for businesses. I do them for the community outreach. I've done them for chambers of commerce. I've done them for salespeople. I've done several sales navigator training for companies. I show them how to effectively use Sales Navigator as opposed to winging it. And there's a lot of details. When I give presentations, I used to tell people last year that when you got information from me, you're getting about 5% of what I know about LinkedIn. Now with all these new settings and features, and I'm now taking on Sales Navigator, you're getting about 2% of what I know about LinkedIn. I've been focusing more on the Sales Navigator because I find that intriguing. Oh, by the way, if you have an opportunity and you are in job search and you want to try, LinkedIn has a 30-day free trial for a premium account. Don't get the job seeker premium account. You're kind of wasting your time. What you want is the sales navigator premium account because it gives you so many more search filters, so many more ways, leads for a job, contact information, easy access to the C-suite, to directors, to VPs. So I can tell you on the LinkedIn Job Seeker Premium, okay, on the regular free account, you get about 80 searches a month before you hit the commercial use limit, and LinkedIn will prevent you from searching. That's for a 30-day calendar month. And so today's the 10th. So if you run out, you've used all your searches up this month, you can't get access with the free account until July 1st. With the LinkedIn Job Seeker Premium, you get approximately 120 to 140 searches a month. That may take you 2 weeks into the month to use all those searches up. And with the Sales Navigator one, you get unlimited. You could have 1,000 searches a month and you get it for free for the first 30 days. So just a heads up. Okay, one of the things I told some people about was messaging and settings. And on your messaging, down at the bottom, you have a microphone and you also have a camera. And if you have the microphone, what you want to do is click on the microphone, and this brings up the screen, and you click on the microphone and record a video or audio, sorry. And it's about 15 seconds long. If you want to wish someone a happy birthday or congratulations on a new job, or you want to say, hey, give me a call back at a certain time, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to do video on LinkedIn, they give you the option to use video. And you can also, besides video, you can use photos, you can mention people. They no longer have the location and availability with the COVID. They removed those two parts of the LinkedIn messaging. But I would imagine once the COVID pandemic is over, they'll go back to putting up location and availability. But you go to video, and guess what pops up if you select video? You have 3 options to do video chats. You can use Microsoft Teams, Zoom, and BlueJeans. I've used Teams and Zoom. I took a class on BlueJeans. I haven't used it. I'm not that familiar with it. So whatever your preference is, I'm sure probably 75% of you use Zoom right now. If you're in business, 90% of you are probably using Microsoft Teams. And you can leave a message, and then you have a start date and an end date. If you use Zoom, you can use put the message in there as well. And then now this is only premium message. If you want to leave an away message on here, that's only a premium feature. But with the BlueJeans and the other ones, you can set up different, they'll allow you to set up a link. You'll be able to send the link to your connection. The connections will get it. If you want to do a quick Zoom call, you click on Zoom, you click the link, send it to your connection, and they click on the link, and then you can start your conversation directly from your messages. The other thing is, here's another jobs section on your settings. Some of the ones, course recommendations for authors you follow, you can turn that on. I turned that off. Profinder is if you're in business on LinkedIn and you do resume writing, if you do LinkedIn profiles. If you do any other kind of business, if you do accounting, you can turn that on and off. You get a few free requests to send. You offer your services to these customers, their clients, and they accept you or they don't accept you. But then after about 10, I believe 10 free requests that you send to people, after that, they want you to buy a premium account just for the Pro Finder. Another one is, again, conversations. And it goes back to LinkedIn and then your conversations. You go through these. Do you want in-mail reminders? Do you want confirmations on your post? Do you want comments on your job updates? Yes, you do. You can go in and switch any of these from on to off. I got to the point I kept getting mentioned all the time. I turned that off a couple of months ago, and I turned it back on, and it isn't as bad now as it was before. So a lot of people were mentioning, they mentioned 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 people in a post, and then everybody would pile on, and after a while you get tired of all the messages and the mentions on the posts. Another thing is messages you've received, frequency. You can have that on or off. That's going to be up to you. Again, I wanted to show you the edit pencils. You can use those at your discretion, and it's not just on and off. If you turn the conversations one off altogether, you won't have access to the others. Excuse me. Now, here's one. This is the full list. And I went through all of these, and a lot of them are redundant, but there's a lot of them about job updates or posts that you do. Are you doing a poll on LinkedIn? Have you done a poll to gather information about the job that you do? Have you gathered a poll about what feature you like on LinkedIn? I don't know. I did one poll about 6 months ago, and that's it. Now I open my homepage feed, and I see 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 polls. Not really conversation. I guess this is the way to start the conversation, is to have a poll, let everybody answer the way they want to, and then you can interact with them that way. So maybe that is a way to start a conversation, is to have a poll. Profile views. Who's viewed your profile? Do you want an individual, weekly, or off? I think you better have it on who's viewed your profile. I would do it daily, because I have people looking at my profile daily. Preferably, you should have 4 or 5 people a day looking at your profile. Should, but that doesn't always mean you can. It depends on what you post, depends on if your profile is open, depends on if you post updates, articles, you comment on other people's information. So who's viewed your profile? I would say individually. You can have whatever you want. It's your profile. I'll leave it up to you. I did this test on Zoom. This is, I sent this to my son, a Zoom video meeting. Here's the link that he got. He checked it out and it worked. And here is the time and date for the video, and it actually gives you the time zone as well. And here is the meeting request down at the bottom, the URL, and then you send it. And that's it. So you want to create an instant meeting, or do you want to schedule one? So that's going to be up to you when you do go into messaging and you go to the Zoom link. Do you want to create it right away, right now, and you want to talk to someone, or do you want to schedule it for later in the week or maybe next week? That's up to you. And then you select a different provider if you don't want Zoom. They allow you to opt out of Zoom. Then you go into Zoom. You sign into Zoom using either your Facebook, Google, or your email address. You sign in and continue. And that's it. Then like I said, I got that email sent that email to my son, and he did get it. He tested it and it worked. Okay. On your work experience, like I said, is one of the 5 most heavily weighted search areas on your profile, and you must have a current title or you won't show up. You won't show up. One of the ways that I suggest to people for showing up on LinkedIn or being visible on LinkedIn, whether or not you want people to connect to you or not, even if you just want to be visible, the 5 largest groups on LinkedIn have 8.5 million members. If you're not in these groups, your profile will not be visible to those 8.5 million people. And you can't see theirs. If you're in that group, you can see them. And guess what? If you're in the group with them, you can send them a message through the group. And it's not an email, it's a message through the group, and it's unlimited messaging. You could send out, and I don't suggest you do that, 50 messages through the groups in a day if you want. But if you want to connect to someone, a CEO of a company, you're looking at the company to find a job, you want to connect with them to see what the company values are and how the company operates, you can send the message through the group. As long as you and the CEO are in that group, you can send them the message and it'll get to their LinkedIn inbox. They may not answer, but at least you have an opportunity to send a message to them. And this is a good way to network. You may want to start off sending messages, and you may want to ask them, hey, are you willing to connect on LinkedIn? And then that'll help you out. If you want to work with me, here's my information. I'll get, if anybody wants the PowerPoint, here's my contact information. Send it to my Gmail address. Here's my LinkedIn URL. If you want have contact information, send me a question through LinkedIn, send me a question through my Gmail. I'll be glad to answer them on LinkedIn. And now I do have time for some final questions.
Okay, well, that's good because we do have a few. And one of these questions, I'm so glad it's being asked because I have it as well. What are the 5 largest groups?
You'll have to send me an email. I have a list of the 10 largest, and I will gladly send them to you. If anybody wants those groups, I'll be glad to send them to you. The other thing is I can send the PowerPoint. And one thing I forgot to mention, there's a video on LinkedIn, on YouTube, how recruiters search for you on LinkedIn. And some of the things I told you through the course of this presentation, I found out through this YouTube video from LinkedIn. It's especially about contacting you. One thing you should do, you should have 50 target companies on LinkedIn. No, 40. Let's say 40. So every week you have 10 target companies that you want to contact and reach out to. You must follow that company. The reason I want you to follow that company, if you want to work for them, their LinkedIn recruiter, if they have their LinkedIn recruiter tool, those recruiters will see that you're following them. If you make a comment or if you like something on, or you're engaging with the content from the company page, the recruiter will see that. But the most important thing is if you connect with people on LinkedIn, the recruiter will see that you have a LinkedIn connection at that company. They may go ask that connection whether or not you'd be a viable candidate. So make sure you follow, make sure you comment, and make sure you connect to companies.
We have one more question.
Okay.
Is giving the names of people who viewed your profile only available with a premium account?
No. when people view your profile, they have their own private, that's one of the privacy settings is you can view someone else's profile incognito. Let's say you're a recruiter and you're looking for a certain position and you look at 10 people's profile. You don't want those 10 people contacting you until you're ready to reach out to them. Of those 10 people, only one may be meet the criteria for the recruiter. So they don't want to be in, and sometimes these recruiters will do 100 searches a day and they don't need 100 people contacting them. So a lot of times they will be incognito. If their settings, it's up to the individual person's settings. I can look at your profile in full profile view and you'll see my headline. If I want to go incognito, you'll see a LinkedIn member viewed your profile. It's not your profile settings, it's their profile settings, the way they have it set as to whether or not you'll see their profile when they look at you. And you don't have to have premium, doesn't make any difference. I have premium, and if someone has their settings set to anonymous, I can't see who it is.
We do have a question that came in through Q&A, and I'm waiting to hear back from that attendee. If anyone has a question, it's approximately just a few minutes before 8 o'clock. But if you have a question like this one attendee has on and wanting to be unmuted to speak with Bruce, I'd be glad to do that. Zoom does not allow me to do that from the Q&A module. You have to ask me through the chat. And if you don't want to be named, that's perfectly understandable. You can rename yourself to initials or an X or whatever you choose, but I cannot unmute you unless you request that in the chat feature so I know who you are, and I can request you to be unmuted in participants. So we'll wait a while if you would like to do that. In the meantime,
if you want the YouTube video about the recruiters searching for you, I'll be glad to send me an email. I'll be glad to send that information out. Actually, if anybody wants information, I'll send all the information out. You choose at your discretion what you want to use.
okay, because we did have another patron that was following up to what you were mentioning before about variations with the premium account, saying, can you show us how to do that?
Yeah.
I am going to go to our participants and unmute this patron and allow to talk.
Okay.
And so that person, you are unmuted on my side. If you want to unmute on your side, you have the floor to talk to Bruce.
Yeah, thank you very much, Patty. What I wanted to know about shutting off open to job search is that you don't have to go through settings. You do not have to know 143 settings. It's right under your name. It's a green box. It says open to. It's something there that you have to turn off or turn on. That way it will show to the recruiters that this person is not actively job searching.
It's
You
under.
have to be signed in to LinkedIn.
Okay. I'm signed into LinkedIn.
And it's a green box right under the name. It'll say open to. It says sign in to connect.
Oh,
So
okay.
you have to be signed in.
Profile visibility. Okay, I've got to make mine public. All right. I don't. Okay, let me pick on someone I know. Hang on a second. Profile settings. Go back to me. View profile.
Earlier when you were signed in, I was able, here, there it is,
Right
open
here?
to, it says right there, open
Yeah.
to, yeah.
Okay, that is open. That means below here, open to work. You can add a section, build a resume. Okay. No, it's open to hiring on mine. And it's also open to providing services. That's what these two open to are for me. Now, I don't know about, I suppose you could put job preferences in there. Or none. Let me see if we can edit this. Hang on a second. You can put in job titles if you want. If you don't want any, remove them all. If you don't want any locations, remove that. Just uncheck everything in here. What's it say? Choose who can see your open. All recruiters only. Okay, you can turn it off here. People using LinkedIn Recruiter, you can turn that off there. Yeah, it won't let me. I wonder why.
Yeah, see, that's the part that's not clear, because earlier LinkedIn used to provide where you could just turn on and turn off. I
Yeah.
was not able to find that. So that's why I wanted to learn from you how I can just turn on and turn off.
Yeah. Here's where you turn on and off the green open to work. And you can remove it or edit it. Important. Okay, let's see. This one, go to me, view profile, open to, find a new job. No, open to work. Now, if you turn that off, I gotta see if I can get back now. Yeah, I can. Yeah, this is job preferences in here. If you're open to work, yeah, it won't let you, other than turning off the.
So this is just for job preferences. It's not giving you any option to turn on or turn off, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right.
You know what? I want to do some research on that. I'll let you know.
Okay, I can send you an email on that.
Sure.
So you'll have my email address. I'm
Okay.
also connected with you on LinkedIn. I can even message you, whichever you prefer.
Just message me on LinkedIn.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, and our last question that I have is from an attendee saying, just to clarify, so if someone is not looking incognito,
Yeah.
I can see who has my profile, correct? Regardless of the account level I have.
Run that by me one more time.
It's in the chat and it says, just to clarify, so if someone is not looking incognito, I can see who has viewed my profile, correct? Regardless of the account level I have.
Correct. Yep. Now on a free account, you only get to see the last 5 people that viewed it. On a premium account, you get to see the last 90 days of people that have viewed it. That's
And a
the
follow-up attendee is saying, how? Can you show us how?
incognito. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, visibility, where are we? Privacy and settings, visibility. Okay, profile viewing options is right here. Right now, I'm under anonymous, so if I looked at your profile, you won't see me. If I turn it to this, and it'll have a green saved with a check mark on it after you change it, that means you have full profile visibility. They will see that I looked at their profile. And I'm going to share that. Okay. And it doesn't on the visibility, like I said, if you get 4 or 5 views a day, you'd only have to check maybe once in the morning, once in the afternoon to see who's viewed your profile. If you have a premium account, you can check anytime. You can go back 2 months, 3 months and see who's viewed it. You may want to revisit some of the profiles that looked at you. If they're recruiters, hiring managers, they might want to be a business partner or a client. Any other questions?
I think you have addressed all the questions that have come to us that have flowed in freely for the last hour and a half. And I want to take this opportunity to thank all of our attendees. If we are your home library, or if you're visiting our site, we just wanted to say thank you very much for making the time and registering for Bruce's program tonight. We always make the most and hold him hostage while he's here. At least I try to hold him hostage. I've tried to pinpoint him down to when he's going to write a book on LinkedIn, but I think I already know his answer, which is by the time it would be published, it would be outdated. Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct. I actually have started. I've got about 20 pages started. But it's
Well,
old.
there's a spot in the business section in the 650s waiting for you when it's published.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I'll get working on it, hopefully by the end of the year.
Well, in the meantime, 2 things I just want to make mention before we sign off is Bruce, of course, we're incredibly grateful. Thank you for making time for us. And we're going to welcome you back. Next time we do, we hope it'll be in person. We're looking forward to that time when it comes to us.
That would be great.
Say yes. And to all attendees, I know I made mention of it before, but please, if there's a program of a specific niche or topic, whether it falls under my purview or not, please do share it with us. As your library, we want to make sure that we're hitting the mark on the programs that you find of interest and that you would want to attend. And if you have suggested topics, you're always welcome to funnel them through me or any other programmer in the library. But thank you all very much. And Bruce, any other words before we part?
Nope, that's it. Thanks for coming in. And if you have any questions, send me an email.
All right. To everyone, we bid you adieu. Stay healthy and enjoy your summer.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bruce.
Bye.